Hey, what's up, my YouTube fam? I'm back. This is Larry with the Best Credit Repair channel. Today, we're going to be talking about how do you file a proper CFPB complaint. There's a lot of mistakes people make. They get frustrated with CFPB because they feel like they're not getting the results. But there is a process to get the results that you need to prove your case to the CFPB that there are violations happening with the credit bureaus or with the collection agencies or even with the creditor on how they're reporting this information on your credit report. The first thing I want to do is when you're dealing with debt collectors, we're going to start with them first. We're going to be talking about Section 809, validation of debt. A lot of bad information out there that tells you, a lot of people are saying that you need to do this, they need to have this, they need to have that. Listen, go to Section 809 on the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act under 15 U.S.C. 1692G. It breaks down, as you can see, the notice of debt contents, the amount of debt, the name of the creditor to whom the debt is owed, a statement that unless the consumer within 30 days after receipt of the notice disputes the validity of this debt or any portion thereof the debt will be assumed to be valid by the debt collector. Right? The main thing, that is all they have to apply. Now, they do have to supply the name and address of the debt. Now, there's other things that you could implement, other things that they have to implement that you can say, and we're going to cover all of those things when it comes to, is this the information they send me, information that I could properly validate the debt is mine, all of that type of stuff, and we're going to cover that. Some of the main things that, the mistakes that people made trying to make sure they get the proper information so they could dispute with the CFPB to really put these people on notice, the credit bureaus, the collection agencies, and even the original creditors that are reporting inaccurate information. The main thing is, how do I go through that process? So let's talk about a little bit about that. Let's start off with collection agencies. Okay, you want to file a complaint. Let's kind of go through the process. Just say a collection agency is reporting a debt on your credit report. Say it's something from a cable company. And say LVNV is reporting this. First of all, these are the things you need to notice on your credit report that's a proper way of reporting. They have to have the original creditor's name. So if LVNV is reporting it, it has to say this debt is coming from Cox Cable, Infinity, Xfinity, or one of the cable companies in your area, right? It also has to say, has the correct open date. The open date is not the day you open the account. It is the day they receive that information in their office, right? You need to understand that date to make sure two things, that they're not trying to report an inaccurate date. You also want to understand, is this a time bar date? What is a time bar date or a time bar debt, right? That is when it falls outside the statutory limitations to be sued, whatever state that you're in, also to be reported on your credit report. So that's why you also need to understand what is the date of first delinquency, the date it first went in delinquency. That starts the clock for the 7 years to report. So if a collection agency picked up a debt that you owe, and it was in 2016, 7 years later, it'd be 2023. Maybe they picked it up at the beginning of 2023, and it's supposed to fall off your credit report in December, and they picked it up in September. They only have September, October, November, and December to report it, and it has to come off your credit report. So they have 4 months to try to use your credit report to get money from you. And something that old, believe me, there's issues with that account. right? But we're just using them as an example. They have to have the original creditor's name. They also cannot report payment history. Reason why? Because you have no payment schedule. So if you look in your payment history and they're reporting information in there, that is inaccurate. They cannot do that. Date of last activity. If they're reporting, if you see that date changing, the only way that date can change if it's activity on the account. You made a payment, it increased the amount, the balance increased. If your balance didn't increase, you didn't make a payment on the account, there's no activity on the account. Just because they report doesn't mean the activity, there was activity. There is no activity on the account. So the date shouldn't change. Right? So now you're going to report, you're going to dispute this account. It's a collection account. You're going to dispute that, just give an example. You're going to dispute that the payment, you're going to first dispute that there's no original creditor name on there. And you're going to dispute that the payment history section is being filled out when you have no payment history or payment schedule with the collection agency, which is making this account report inaccurate and incomplete. Right? So you dispute that. It comes back verified. You're going to do a method of verification. Now, these are all steps because the end result, you want to file a complaint with the CFPB. Now you're going to do your method of verification. Your method of verification letter is going to be stated as such. You're going to use the reference number that they sent you on the results. You're going to say, hey, I disputed this account and I disputed these two items. One, the original creditor name is not on this account, which is required under the guidelines of Metro 2 to increase accuracy of the account. And also in my payment history, I have no payment schedule with them, so they can't report information in my payment history. We have not established that. We have no contract to say when I'm supposed to be making payments, so they can't make payments or put any information in the payment history. Those errors constitute the deletion of this account, right? That's all you need to put. Say it comes back verified again. Remember, you're going, at that point, you're still not dealing with the CFPB, right? You're developing the evidence, right? So now you're going to write a letter to the collection agency just asking for validation of the debt, right? Now, with validation of debt, you got a lot of misinformation on it. People telling you need to sign contract, all that. That is not required under the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but talking to consumer lawyers, if you take them to court, they have to provide much more information to prove the accuracy of the debt. That's why they don't like going to court for small debt. It's not in their best interest because they pay pennies on a dollar on these debt, and they're trying to make a massive. That's why they don't want to go to court. If it's a big debt, 10,000, 8,000, 7,000, maybe even 5,000, they may want to pursue it that way. So, but small debts, they don't want to, right? So, and they don't want to because they're really going after the bigger debts. The smaller debts, but they know how to get the money is to damage your credit report. Let's get past all that. I don't want to get too deep into that. So now you're going to send a letter just asking a validation. They'll come back. They're probably going to send you a digital copy of a final bill, right? You're going to send them back a letter just saying, you're reporting this information on my credit report as that you are the owner of this debt, and that this all the information is validated on the debt. Now, in their purchase agreement, when they buy these debts, the creditor specifically tells them that they cannot verify 100% accuracy of the debt. They say that so they take to move them from having any legal issue with a debt collection, the debt they bought, right? they put that in there. Remember, everything you selling stuff, people got legal terms in there, right? Because they want to protect their legal side, that they're not validating this debt that you're buying is 100% accurate, right? So now you're going to go back and, after you got that, you're going to say, I cannot validate this debt is mine based on the information that you sent me. You're reporting this debt on my credit report as you have verified that the information that you have is 100% accurate, it is 100% complete, and it is 100% verifiable with the original creditor. I understand in the letter that you get from the original creditor, they state that they cannot verify the accuracy of this account, right? So I need more information that this account is 100% accurate. So I'm requesting at least the last 12 months of payments and the interest that was applied each of those 12 months. If you can't provide that information, there is a clear indication that you don't have the proper information to validate this debt and to report this debt as a debt on my credit report. They may come back and still be like, I'm just going to send you and say it's validated. Then you're going to take that information and you're going to you're going to send that information to the CFPB. And when you write the letter, you have to have the evidence. I disputed this information with the credit bureaus. These were the inaccuracies. Circle them. This is what I received back from the credit bureaus. Remember, when you dispute with the credit bureau, section 623 is 1681 S2B, and section 611 are the ones that the sections you want to use. And then you're going to say this was the results they gave me back to say this debt is validated and it is accurate, right? They still don't have the original creditor's name. They're still reporting in the payment history. All these things are inaccuracies that they have not corrected or deleted from my credit report. I also asked for validation with the collection agency, and I asked for validation. This was the information they sent me. I replied again to the collection agencies that the information they sent me was so-called. First of all, they should have the original creditor name when they send you that first information back, and they should have the original creditor's address, not a P.O. box, their corporate address. If that's not in there, you have to let them know, the CFPB, this is what I got, and this is the information that is required under the CFPB. Under the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act, that they didn't provide to me. And also the information they provide, a digital copy, didn't give me enough information to say the accuracy of this debt. Right? You want to send all that information to the CFPB. You want to scan those documents, and you want to enter those documents when you're writing out your complaint. Because now that complaint goes toward the credit bureaus and the collection agency. Now, let's give you some tips. If a debt has been moved from collection agency to collection aid, most likely that is not a verifiable debt. Now, if it's $200-300, I'm not going to call them and ask them for a pay for deletion, right? Because they're going to want most of the money. They're going to want all of it. But you can use my strategy called a restrictive endorsement. If it's $300, if you use the restrictive endorsement, you can send them $100 and still get it removed. Now, let's be real. It doesn't pay to go to court for a $300 debt. Probably the court fees and everything else, and your time is worth more than that. There's other strategies. Take the small L, get it removed off your credit report and move forward. Now, if it's 2,500, 3,000, 5,000, I'll probably go to court behind it, because the likelihood they'll be able to prove all of that information is unlikely. But if you feel like I don't want to do all that, I've gotten somebody out of a $9,000 debt for $1,500 using the restrictive endorsement strategy. They didn't want to take the chance, go to court, because for one, when we sent the method of verification letter, they sent us a folder that thick of all this information. That was a large debt. They went the extra mile to get information to prove this debt. But we sent in that method of verification. They were greedy. They fell for it, and we got out of the debt, and she got that $9,000 debt removed off her credit report. I had another client, had a $5,000 debt for Midland funding for a Citibank card. We sent in my affidavit that I have that's in my master dispute package, and then she got a summons to go to court. I'm just keeping it real with you. She came and said, I got summons today. So a collection agency will try to threaten you with summons. That is a threat, because now they feel our normal human reaction is, I don't want to go to court. I'm going to get sued and they're going to win. That's not the case. They understand that, right? So they want to threaten you with a court case. So my client came to me and said, what do we do? I said, let's take them to court. It's $5,000. Let's take them to court. You know what happened? And I still have it, the text message from the lawyer. She took him to court. She hired a lawyer, and that court was thrown out, dismissed. She didn't owe him a penny. So I am telling you, you have to follow processes, and there are different ways to attack collection agencies. There are different ways to get the results that you want. But this is all about the CFPB and building your case to use the CFPB to get the results that you want, to get them to remove stuff off of your credit report. Now, if you want a free credit analysis to look at any collection accounts to see what is the best strategy, shoot me an email. I will do a free credit analysis. If you want my master dispute package that has all this information in it, a lot of information, let me know. Shoot me an email, and then if you want to purchase it, I can get it to you. A lot of information. It's not a cookie cutter. It's got tons of information, CFP information, Metro 2 information, Fair Credit Reporting Act information, different information that you can use when you're going after creditors and all that type of stuff. 1099-Cs and how to address, how to get charge-off removed. What strategies do you need to use? How do you put the creditor on notice? All that stuff is in there. So if you're interested in all that, if you want more information about this video, I couldn't be too detailed because it's already became too long. Let me know. We can talk about it. We can set up a call. I have no problem with that. Just shoot me an email. But I appreciate y'all. Please like, subscribe, share to this video. And I have more videos coming out. I appreciate y'all. But if you have any questions, again, like, subscribe, shoot me an email. If you need a free credit analysis, I got you. But hey, this is it, and I'm out.